The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, and the aircraft manufacturer Lockheed send investigators to Riyadh to help the Saudis determine the cause of the catastrophic fire on Flight 163.
The Saudis were in charge, according to international rules, but they didn't have a lot of major aircraft accident experience. So the U.S. NTSB supported them and helped them with the investigation.
Just some soot. Black box should be fine.
Crew were found in their seats. Look at where the passengers and some of the flight attendants were found.
Investigators discover that passengers had moved forward and gathered near the door.
After the airplane came to a stop, there must have been mass confusion.
Did they try to open the doors?
Doesn't look like it. None of the emergency handles were pulled.
The fact that no one attempted to open the doors from the inside of the aircraft leads me to believe that they were already incapacitated and could not open their doors.
They examine the devastated cabin to figure out how the fire started.
Looks like someone tried to put out the fire.
The roof was totally gone. The sides were gone. Everything was burned away. The seat frames, but the fabrics were all burned away. Total destruction in the cabin area.
There's something at the back you're going to want to see.
Well, what do we have here?
When we got to the back part of the airplane, on the left side in the aisle was a hole in the floor.
Looks like the fire came up through the floor.
The hole is the investigators' first clue about the origin of the fire.
Yeah, we need to get down there.
Appeared to me that's where the fire started, under that hole. Because a fire burns up, not down. So that made us want to know what was beneath that hole.
Be careful there.
Investigators examine the cargo compartment below the rear cabin.
Looks like the fire burned a hole through the compartment ceiling, right here.
Fuel lines are scorched.
The throttle and flight control cables are damaged too.
On a TriStar, the control cables, throttle cables, and fuel lines run through an 8-inch space above the rear cargo compartment. Did a burst fuel line cause the fire?
When investigating any fire, you're looking for the causes that may be very obvious engineering things, mechanical things that you look at to try and see if you can eliminate those sources of fire and ignition.
Investigators also discover a burned-out hole on the left side of the compartment.
Looks like a burst hydraulic pipe, some melted wires.
Maybe an electrical short. And a hydraulic leak caused the fire.
When we looked inside that cargo compartment, there were all kinds of possibilities of what could have caused the fire.
They remove the charred mechanical components for further testing.
As part of the investigation, there were several things we wanted to eliminate at the start, including, was it electrical failure? Was it a hydraulic systems failure or some other mechanical failure?
If there is a fault in one of the systems on this plane, then the TriStar fleet, nearly 200 planes flying worldwide, could be at risk as well.
Got the results.
Lab tests have been performed on the fuel, electrical and hydraulic systems from Saudia Flight 163.
No detectable evidence that the fuel system leaked.
What about the electrical system?
No, there were no shorts. And the hydraulic systems were also fine.
The tests we conducted indicated that all the failures that occurred with the systems were caused by the fire. They did not cause the fire.
So the fire must have started inside the cargo bay. We need to rule out a bomb.
A bomb expert from the UK was brought in, and his expertise is determining if there was explosives or incendiary devices.
9 months earlier, the Great Mosque in Mecca was seized by insurgents who called for the overthrow of Saudi Arabia's rulers. Hundreds of worshippers were killed. Did extremists plant a bomb in the luggage compartment of this flight headed to Mecca?
No evidence of a timing device, no structural damage suggesting an explosion, no small fragments in the structure. So no bomb.
The bomb experts did an exhaustive search and examination of the wreckage, including was it electrical. His investigation revealed no explosives, no incendiary devices.
Let's check previous cargo fires for patterns.
Good idea.
Are there any clues from cases similar to that of Saudia Flight 163?
We looked at previous in-flight fires and fires on airplanes in cargo compartments to see what caused those, to see if it would point us in a direction.
Matches.
Matches?
Take a look. Last year, British officials identified 3 different incidents in which matches had started a fire in luggage being loaded onto a plane.
Hard to believe this is even possible.
We had one incident where the luggage was thrown into the cargo pit. It started smoking and then caught fire. And the matches in those days were not safety matches. Today, it will not ignite unless it's on a special fabric.
You ready?
Investigators test how easily matches could ignite.
Hit it with something hard, and poof, it would catch fire. That was the non-safety matches. It surprised us that the matches could catch fire so easily. So it was a serious hazard.
The theory that matches were the source of the fire seemed possible. Passengers on this particular flight were likely to pack them in their luggage.
Many of the passengers on the airplane were pilgrims heading to Mecca, and they would have had stoves with them to cook when they were camping out. They would have had matches to start the stoves.
Matches seem like the most likely cause.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't find any evidence of matches causing the fire, but obviously that evidence would have been destroyed. But it was a pretty good hunch on our part.
But if some luggage actually caught fire, would it be enough to bring down a sophisticated jetliner?
Fire in a cargo compartment isn't supposed to be able to spread.
The compartment should have sealed off and starved the fire of any oxygen.
Maybe the compartment's fire suppression system failed.
Unlike the airtight cargo holds at the front of the airplane, which were designed to hold cargo containers, the aft hold was designed for passengers' baggage and any pets they were traveling with.
The aft cargo compartment was different than all of the other cargo compartments on this aircraft because it was designed to be able to hold live animals. So it was pressurized and it had a source of fresh air.
An inlet fan and 3 valves allow for airflow. But if smoke sets off one or both detectors, the fan stops and the valves close, sealing the compartment and cutting off the supply of oxygen.
In the case of Flight 163, obviously something in that self-extinguishing system did not take place, and the fire continued.
Okay, let's see if they work.
Investigators test both of the cargo compartment's smoke detectors to determine if they are functioning properly.
Okay, that one's working. What about the other one?
Smoke detectors were working.
There must be another reason why oxygen continued to fuel the fire.
Maybe there was something wrong with the compartment itself.
Good point. Let's find out.
Smoke detectors were working correctly, but the fire spread even though it was supposed to have been self-extinguished. And we needed to find out why.
Let me check the specs.
Investigators examined the specification of the rear cargo compartment on board Saudia Flight 163 to better understand how it's designed to contain a fire.
According to this, it's considered a Class D cargo compartment.
Designation states that a Class D compartment is 500 cubic feet. What's the size of the L1011 compartment?
The L1011's cargo compartment is 700 cubic feet.
The cargo compartment on the L1011 is 200 cubic feet bigger than its original design.
We determined that the original certification of a Class D cargo compartment was based on smaller airplanes.